Streaming on clickorlando.com, you're watching News 6 at 10 p.m.
Tonight on News 6, staying safe while having fun. How the city of Orlando is making the city safer on Halloween, 1 year after a deadly shooting. Plus, families in a Eustis neighborhood forced to sleep elsewhere for a second night. The partial bridge collapse that's causing major issues. And millions of Americans could soon be without crucial benefits. The impact the government shutdown is having on SNAP benefits here in Central Florida. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ginger Gadsden. It is Halloween, so safety is a top concern tonight in downtown Orlando. Here's a live look now at downtown Orlando from our Light Orlando Delivering Hope Cam, where lots of people are gathering right now. You may remember last year a mass shooting killed 2 people and injured 7, and 1 person was trampled. So what's being done to prevent that from happening again this year? Your Orange County community correspondent Jarrell Baker went downtown looking for answers.
Now, several people celebrating Halloween in downtown Orlando on Friday night still remember the horrific shooting that happened last year that left 2 people dead and 7 others injured. And that's why they're hoping that safety measures that have been put in place by the city will help out and prevent that from happening this year.
We all remember what happened last year and how scary it was.
Abdullah Hakeem ran for his life last Halloween when a 17-year-old opened fire downtown, injuring around 10 people.
A lot of my coworkers were physically right next to the shooting when it happened, so it was a little bit more traumatic for them.
Just this week, the families of 2 people killed during that mass shooting last year filed lawsuits alleging that OPD officers and agents negligently failed to implement policies and procedures to ensure safety in the downtown area last year. Friday, the city sent me a statement that says, in part, the Orlando Police Department will actively monitor roadways throughout the evening and make adjustments as needed to manage anticipated crowds. Hakeem says that he believes that the city has made changes to ensure everyone's safety this year.
But we're all pretty wary. I am optimistic.
After the shooting, the city made several changes, including reopening Orange Avenue and side streets to traffic during late night hours and using barricades to keep pedestrians closer to the sidewalks. The city of Orlando has also implemented a new policy requiring businesses to have a $250 after midnight alcohol sales permit.
I don't know if the permits are going to change anything. I don't think it was on the business owners really causing the issues, although I don't know, maybe it was. But I think just having as many cops around as possible so that there's a presence.
Friday night, several people came out dressed in costumes as police officers and city workers monitored and patrolled the area downtown.
I'm not going to live my life because of one event that happened on one night a year ago, because there's been other shootings down here. There's been shootings in other places, and it's you just got to keep going.
Now, other safety measures that the Orlando requires is that businesses have security and police presence on weekends and during 5 major holidays during certain hours of the day, and that also includes Halloween. Here in Orlando, Jarrell Baker, News 6.
I'm News 6's Mike Valenti reporting from the gated community of Spring Ridge Estates here in Eustis, where record rainfall days ago led to a partial bridge collapse behind me. That prompted the evacuation of 21 homes Thursday night. Now, 24 hours later, crews continue to monitor the situation. They want to ensure that things don't deteriorate to the point where more homes in this neighborhood have to be evacuated.
And about 6:30, 7 o'clock, it just started collapsing. And we got back home from the store and they said the bridge has been closed and started evacuating the residents over there. And so it's been crazy.
I got home last night from work and we had about 15 minutes to grab everything that we owned or what we could carry and leave.
Families returning to their homes briefly Friday morning to pick up their belongings after a partial bridge collapse prompted an evacuation about 7 p.m. Thursday night.
Never had these kinds of rains before. It just blew our minds. We just couldn't believe it.
The deterioration of this bridge comes days after record rainfall in Eustis.
Everybody's okay with getting a lot of rain, but it's the duration that really hurts you. And in this case, we received 19.7 inches of rain in the city of Eustis in a little over 4 hours.
Michael Swanson is the chief of the Eustis Fire Department.
I don't know if there's very many structures that can actually handle that and funnel it off effectively with not something happening to it.
Crews began monitoring the bridge on Monday. The only thing neighbors could do at the time was hope for the best.
Each day it's gotten worse and worse, and you see where it's at today.
The water is still flowing. As long as the water is moving, the situation will be changing.
Swanson cautions that as that water keeps moving, we may continue to see structures and utilities undermined.
I don't think the whole thing is going to go, but the problem is I can't guarantee that. And when you have that much structural damage under there, that it's not safe for somebody to go under there and look.
The concern right now is that if things do get worse and more of the bridge collapses, that'll take out the sewer line below it. In that event, you'd see more evacuations of this entire neighborhood here at the Spring Ridge Estates. So right now, what crews are doing are staging equipment to get a temporary line in the event that sewer line fails. Reporting from the Spring Ridge Estates, I'm Mike Valenti, News 6.
All right, well, it was certainly a great day for people to get outside. It's Halloween after all, and it looks like the weekend is going to be pretty wonderful as well. Meteorologist David Nazario has a first look at your forecast. Hey, David.
Hi, Ginger. Yeah, so a massive night and day difference, no pun intended, being it's Halloween night. Happy Halloween to everybody out there. You see behind me here on the water vapor, we were just talking about a bridge collapse and heavy rainfall. That is far from the case as dense, dry air builds in across our viewing area. I'm tracking this thing up over Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Texas. That's going to be our next storm system that's going to kind of dabble with some rain chances into Sunday and into early portions of next week. But for now, the radar remains very clear, which is exactly what we want to see. When I zoom you out looking at the satellite radar across the East Coast, there's really not a cloud in sight as that dry air really dominates. We've got that textbook northwesterly flow across our area, a couple gusts out there that might make it a little more on the nippy side. Temperatures definitely starting to come down. We're going to be in the upper 40s, low 50s across the board, and you can definitely see that cool temperature change is settling in directly overhead. So stick with us, tracking a chilly Halloween night and then a very nice weekend ahead. Ginger, back to you.
David, thank you. New tonight, public television station WUCF is canceling its weekly News Night program. This is part of a nationwide government funding cut. Now, this is a clip from tonight's episode, which executive producer Steve Moore says will be the last. Newsnight provided in-depth coverage of Central Florida issues and featured weekly panel discussions with local journalists. Earlier this year, President Trump and Congress canceled funding for the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, which funds public radio and television stations. As a result, WUCF lost $2 million in federal funding and another $370,000 in state funds. The station says it will continue with PBS-affiliated programming. It also runs Beacon, a 24/7 emergency channel for alerts. Very soon, the money millions of Americans rely on to help put food on the table will likely run out. But two separate federal judges issued last-minute rulings today, and that could help. They said they sided with the state suing the Trump administration and the tug of war over food assistance. But despite the ruling, the USDA says come tomorrow, the funding for SNAP benefits is tapped out. More than 24 states argue a contingency fund was designed to keep the program running while the Trump administration claims the funds are not legally available to cover the benefits.
Even if it could flow, it doesn't even cover half of the month of November. So here we are again in 2 weeks having the exact same conversation.
The administration did find a way to pay the military today, moving billions of dollars from other programs to meet the payroll. Here in Central Florida, food programs are bracing for the impact of no SNAP benefits. Hope Partnership helps people experiencing poverty and homelessness in Osceola County find a safe place to call home. They also get food from Second Harvest Food Bank to help feed those who are hungry. But without SNAP, which more than 24,000 people in the county use, they expect a large increase as families make tough choices. Officials say for every one meal a food bank provides, SNAP covers 9. For the first time in decades, the Sunshine State has a new helpline for people struggling with problem gambling. News 6's Justin Wormuth breaks down how this impacts the people who pick up the phone because they need help.
I'm News 6 anchor Justin Wormuth. After decades of working with the Florida Council on Compulsive Gambling in the heart of downtown Sanford, the Florida Gaming Control Commission settled on a new vendor. So as of July 1st, the state contracted Kindbridge Research Institute to run a new helpline for the next 3 years, paying them $2 million a year to do so. But for the first 4.5 months of that deal, those in need of help were consistently directed to the Florida Council on Compulsive Gambling via the Hard Rock Bet app. Their number clearly displayed 888 admit it right at the bottom of the app's sign-in page. Now, that number is even still included in advertisements on TV. In fact, this commercial aired on News 6 just Wednesday. But by Saturday morning, there was a change. A new number, 833 Playwise, started to appear. So we did some digging on this, and on Playwise's website, it says the organization is partnered with the Florida Gaming Control Commission and Kindbridge Research Institute. Here's a look at that. What's not clear, though, is what specifically that partnership is. Again, the state is not paying Kindbridge, not Playwise. Now, we have asked Kindbridge and Playwise what their relationship is and what services Playwise is offering Floridians. At this point, we have not heard back. We also reached out to the Florida Council on Compulsive Gambling, who says they are continuing to serve the community, and they are still getting calls from people looking for help with a gambling addiction. In the studio, Justin Mormith, News 6.
Now, News 6 has been tracking the rise in problem gambling across Florida and the recent fallout between the state and the Florida Council on Compulsive Gambling. You can watch Justin's full investigation right now on clickorlando.com. A powerful form of therapy now on hold. Coming up next, why it's happening, the impact it could have on kids with disabilities, and how you can help. You're watching News 6 at 10 on Halloween night, covering Heathrow, Claremont, and all of Central Florida. News 6 has learned hundreds of kids with disabilities in Florida no longer have access to horse therapy programs that were helping them thrive. Providers across the state received an unexpected email earlier this month and suddenly had to put their programs on hold. I was able to speak to one of those providers who says this program is vital to the kids who need it most.
Some 20-year-old decided to make an illegal U-turn. He didn't see me coming.
Stephen David, a veteran, was on his way to get a free motorcycle wash on Veterans Day in 2014 when his whole life changed.
Suffered traumatic brain injury, frontal lobe, brainstem, left shoulder broken, 4 broken ribs, spleen shattered. The traumatic brain injury was the worst of it, and Gravity's helped me kind of be more at peace in a way.
Gravity is a therapist helping Stephen heal, creating a strong bond along the way.
When I first met him, I approached him with respect because I'm like, you know what? As big as he is, he looks like me. Since then, we've been working well together. Ain't that right, bud?
Yes.
You come to Freedom Ride, and this property, it's just pure peace.
Karen Bobinger is a certified equine instructor with Freedom Ride, a nonprofit established in 1998. They currently help more than 80 kids and adults struggling with disabilities. Kids like Talia.
She was nonverbal, and she was with us for about a year. One day, she was grooming the horse and petting the horse, and she actually said the word horse. Her parents absolutely lost it. And now she works at Publix, and she is a chatterbox. That came through the power of the horse.
But that power to heal has been put on hold.
About 50% of our clients utilize medical transport management for their payments. So we have officially received notice that they are no longer reimbursing Freedom Ride. This is a big deal for all expressive therapies throughout the state.
Freedom Ride is owed $11,000, and they are just one of almost 300 equine therapy programs across the state that haven't been paid since August 30th. Each is owed thousands of dollars. They all received this email from Medical Transport Management on October 13th.
We will be unable to reimburse for services unless we have a valid Medicaid ID and certification. Now, we've been doing business with them for 12 years.
So what's changed? In a statement to News 6, Sunshine Health says, during an internal review of MTM, which manages Sunshine Health's expressive therapy network, Sunshine Health discovered that not all expressive therapy providers meet Medicaid requirements. One of those requirements is a Medicaid ID number, so Freedom Ride applied for one, but their status is still in process.
This could go on for 6-8 months. So we're asking for people to help maybe step up with a sponsorship for a rider, for a partial sponsorship with a rider. $5, $10, keep us at least through the next session. We'll have some breathing room.
Sunshine Health also announced it is ending its relationship with Medical Transport Management effective December 31st. Sunshine Health will be holding provider town halls in November and December. It's to educate providers on the whole process. We have that information and much more, and how you can donate. All that on clickorlando.com. All right, it has been a great night for trick-or-treaters. The streets have been lit up with those little kids just going from door to door. And it looks like the weather's going to continue into the weekend. Meteorologist David Nazario joins us now with what to expect. David.
Yeah, I'm looking at the sky cams right now outside, both in Mount Dora and in Orlando. And truthfully, I genuinely wish I could be out there amongst the folks, like either underneath this little pedestal here, maybe in the background, just hanging out with a microphone saying, hey, everybody, yeah, we're talking weather. Because when you look at the temperatures out there right now, not only has the humidity come down, and I personally think this value is a little overblown. There's no way you're going to tell me there's 77% humidity out there right now with a temperature as low as 57. Winds still coming in out of the northwest at about between 5 to 10 miles an hour across our area. Take a look at the Daytona Beach sky cam. Just a phenomenal evening out there. All in all, looking at great conditions for the rest of your Halloween night into tomorrow. But what's interesting is looking back through Central Florida's history, it was not always like this. When you take a look at some of our Halloween extreme temperatures, just imagine this. In comparison to tonight, imagine a Halloween where it's 91 degrees in the afternoon. I'm a big slasher fan. I am not going to be wearing a hockey mask or the Shatner mask with coveralls in 90-degree weather. That's asking for heat exhaustion, let alone a heat stroke out there. When you look at your forecast lows for tonight, massive difference. We're not looking at any of those extreme temperatures. In fact, maybe for Floridian standards, this is some extreme cold weather. Look at Gainesville coming in at 43 is your overnight low. Ocala 44, the Village is 47. The rest of us in the upper 40s, low 50s across the board. Even the East Coast counties are kind of getting in on the action. A couple of milder temperatures here in Brevard, Cape Canaveral, Cocoa Beach, Melbourne sitting around 57, 58 degrees. But truthfully, breath of fresh air, quite literally. The last time we had 50-degree temperatures here in Orlando or across Central Florida was back on April 17th. Approximately 196 days ago. So a little over half a year ago since we saw these types of temperatures here in Central Florida. Now, coming up on Sunday, we're going to be winding the clocks back. Very low-end chance for rain. You can see the weekend forecast looking pretty good. We're going to get some sleep back. In terms of sleeping in, definitely take advantage. Crack the windows, turn the AC off, because these are your wake-up temperatures over the next 5 days. On average, hugging that low 60s. Forecast highs for tomorrow, we're going to kind of struggle to get into the mid-70s, I would say. And then the temperature trend kind of looks a little bit like a roller coaster over the next 7 days as we track another system coming in. Looking at the American model, the GFS, looking at that little flare-up of showers and storms over Texas, Louisiana. As this kicks across our area, it's going to help to reinforce the cold air over our area and bring down another bout of dry air. So maybe a little bit of onshore flow trying to instigate some showers out there into next week, but nothing big. Precipitation rainfall outlook for the next 2 weeks looking pretty good, but then as La Nina out there in the Pacific builds in, looking dry. And that could be the whole repetition we follow for much of the rest of fall and into winter. More on that obviously to come. Let's not rush time any more than we already have. This is a breath of fresh air as well. No tropical activity expected over the next 7 days. Climate Prediction Center, and I do understand why they're highlighting this area in the Western Caribbean near the Yucatan and south of Jamaica. We're going to keep an eye on that over the next 7 days. But for right now, looking pretty solid out there. We finish up with your 7-day forecast. That slight chance of rain between Sunday and Wednesday hanging out with us, but overall just a phenomenal next week, if not 2 weeks, rocking into the beginning of November, Ginger.
That is a good looking forecast, David. Thank you. Well, it's Halloween, which means tomorrow is the start of November, of course. And whether you're looking to honor tradition, taste the best local flavors, or kick off the holiday season early, Michelle Morgan will be back with the top events happening this weekend. That's next.
We're meteorologist Michelle Morgan looking for something fun to do, not only this weekend, but next week too. We're here at the Museum of Illusions where Dia de los Muertos Family Day kicks off. We spoke to Matt Jervius about what you can expect.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell her right now. It's about having fun with your family and taking tons of photos to show your friends. That is what our museum is set up for. And throughout the day, we have little events with our buddies here.
Yes, yeah, that's us, it's us.
Our buddies here are gonna do a show throughout the day. We have face painting, we have tie-dyeing going on. So it's a really packed day.
It's this Saturday and tickets are about $20 online. Here's another great event on Saturday at Wekiva Island, the 11th annual Fall Egg Fest from 9 a.m. through 5 p.m. Enjoy tastings, baked goods, and barbecue. Taster tickets are about $40 at the gate, and the weather will be perfect. Another food event this Saturday is happening in Altamont Springs at Cranes Roost Park. It's the Beer, Bacon, and Barbecue Festival from 2 to 7 p.m. Admission is free, and sampling passes are about $35. Enjoy 20-plus craft beers, delicious bites from local restaurants, and live music. Think it's too early for Christmas shopping? Think again. Head to the Toy Story Toyland Christmas Market on Saturday at Ramada by Wyndham, Kissimmee. Explore 30-plus unique shops, snap a pic with Rex, and enjoy this free event from 11 a.m. through 4 p.m. Next week, the 14th annual Taste of Southlake Business Expo will be happening on Thursday, November 6th from 5 to 8:30 p.m. at Waterfront Park in Claremont. Tickets around $50, sample dishes from 35 plus local restaurants, and check out products from 35 local businesses. Also next Thursday, the 24th annual Taste of Thornton Park from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. Tickets are about $55 and it's an adult-only event. Enjoy food tastings, wine, cocktails, and live DJ entertainment under the stars. If you have a fun event happening next weekend, let us know. Just head over to clickorlando.com or our new 6 app, just click contact us.
Thanks for joining us. You can find all of tonight's stories plus breaking news on News 6 Plus. It's free to download on your smart TV or streaming device. Have a safe Halloween and good night, everybody. Bye.
She loves it.
Thank you.